How's it going, guys? So today, doing a quick YouTube video about the Frost Dragon encounter. It is one of the higher tier encounters you can do right now in the Alpha 1 setup of Ashes of Creation. So, did this with a couple guys on the server. We all had a good time. We actually managed to take it down. It actually has quite a few mechanics. You gotta kind of figure those out throughout the fight. Figured them out. We beat the boss. I'm going to go over that here today so you can do it yourself. And with your buddies, of course. So, we're getting in the video. Let's head right over into it. First, as with any encounter, the pull. Make sure to give your main tank an ample amount of time to pull the boss, so they are the ones being targeted. As we can see here, our cleric is given time to aggro the boss, so they are being targeted. Here, as an honorable mention, we have the knockdown wombo combo. At the time of recording the boss fight, we were able to chain knock down the dragon with onslaughts leveled up to 3 from tanks. On the most recent clear, we were not able to do this, but I thought I'd at least show it off to you guys. Here we have our first real mechanic, the singular Gowls. A few raid members will acquire an Ice Gowl. These Ice Gowls spawn with an HP pool of 550 on top of the raid members. When the Gowl's duration ends, they will explode, dealing very large damage to those inside. In short, break the Gowls your teammates are inside of. It's going to help everybody out. Here we'll see the dragon rising itself into the air, channeling Frost on his feet. Upon slamming his feet down, we see him hit everyone on the map for a small amount of damage. Healers won't need to worry too much, but it might just be a good thing to watch out for, and this will be used alongside other mechanics later on in the fight. Like with almost any boss in any game, our boss here auto-attacks. The Frost Dragon specifically does not hit too hard with his autos, though if the main tank isn't a cleric, healers should probably be prepared to top off whoever the main tank is. This is a mechanic I'll be nicknaming Rolling Ice. The dragon will rise up and roar, sending out 5 equally sized rolling patches of ice. Upon reaching the end of this path, another 5 rolling patches will roll out adjacent to the first 5. About halfway through the second set of patches rolling out, the first 5 patches will explode, dealing damage. The only part of this mechanic to truly worry about is the explosion of the patches. When they explode, they will deal a high amount of damage, either getting out of the AoE entirely, or just standing in a new patch and then moving back to a patch after it explodes will allow you to avoid damage. This is a mechanic we'll be calling Ice Slam. The dragon will rise up on its hind feet, accumulating ice particles underneath its front feet. Though do take note that these particles are more intense than the ones he did when he was using his raid-wide AoE attack. After a couple moments, the dragon will slam down in a small AoE in front of him, dealing large damage to anyone caught inside of it. Healers should be prepared to heal the main tank or melee DPS as needed. This is a mechanic we'll be coining Icicles and Rolling Ice. This is the first phase that has multiple mechanics happening at once, so be sure to watch out. We will have Rolling Ice active as well as a new mechanic, the Icicles. Rolling Ice works as we previously talked about. Refer to that if you don't really remember. All good. Icicles, on the other hand, are a new mechanic. As you can see, they spawn over each player and fall down after about 2 seconds, and they deal massive damage, as you can see by us floor tanking. Be sure to move out of the way of them so you do not die. When an icicle does hit the ground, though, it does leave an ice gowl. 5 seconds after the last gowl drops, the dragon will fly into the air, activating its raid-wide AoE, causing the gowls to explode in an area for damage. You really should stay away from these rather than try to break them. It's just safer that way. Back to a new mechanic, we have the Ice Prisons. The dragon will have a long cast time, with his wings raised up and a giant ice crystal above his head. After a couple moments, he will extend his wings, and ice scowls will fall on a few people in the raid. And then around them will be 6 more ice scowls. At least 2 of the ice scowls surrounding them, as well as the one the player is trapped in, will need to be broken so that player can live. Tanks, you really should save Shockwave for this ability. Mages could use Meteor. Any AoE you have will help them out to get them out of the damage. Gals will explode 8 seconds after spawning, so beware. Also, don't forget, pressing Control to roll out will greatly increase your chance of survival by increasing the distance. I hope you liked Rolling Ice, because now we have Rolling Ice, but with extra fun. This mechanic, which we will be calling Stacked Rolling Ice, functions almost identically to Rolling Ice, though after the first patch explodes, another 2 patches will begin to roll in at a 90-degree perpendicular angle over the same location. It's easiest just to leave the location, but if it's not possible, dodging around inside the mechanic is doable. The dragon will be roaring continuously throughout this mechanic, so don't worry about auto attacks. So this upcoming mechanic, Singular Gals plus Breath, will add a little bit of danger to the Singular Gals mechanic. As you can see here, our teammate is moving around with the gal on top of him, though he shouldn't be able to do that, so, it's alpha. You will need to break your teammates out of these Singular Gals, because as we can see here, the dragon will start to fly back a little bit a couple moments after your friends are afflicted by the Gals. It will then take a crouched position with its wings outstretched. A moment later, it will begin to fire a cone of frost breath in front of it with very long range, dealing very large damage to anyone who stays inside of it for 5 seconds. As you can see by us expertly floor tanking, it does hit pretty hard. Now this mechanic is one of my favorite mechanics of this fight, and I'll be nicknaming it the Danger Zone. At the beginning of this mechanic, the dragon will crouch and begin to flap his wings, applying ice to all 4 feet, unlike the previous mechanics. He then jumps back, stays in the air for a bit, and drops 10 ice scowls below him. After that, he will begin to breathe his ice breath in front of him before spinning in a circle 2 full times. Standing below the dragon where the gals are will cause you not to get hit by the ice breath, but the gals will explode as he finishes his second spin. If you do manage to break 2 adjacent gals and stand in between where they were, you can avoid being hit by the gal's explosion. You can also move far enough out from the breath to avoid being hit, but as a melee, you probably aren't going to have enough time to do that. It's most likely better to move in and break the gals and stand there, but you're going to need to have a decent amount of melee characters in your raid. With enough HP, it is also able to tank the ice breath, but without maxed out armor, level 15 and all that, it's not going to be very easy. Really, probably the best way is going to be standing underneath him, getting hit with ice breath once as he's finishing up, and not getting hit by the gals. Just make sure you don't get hit too much. No one wants to piss off their healers. I hope you haven't forgotten about Rolling Ice, because now we have Mass Rolling Ice. It's very similar to Rolling Ice, but with extra flavor. So we start off, as you can see, with 1 set of Rolling Ice coming out. As the second half of the first patch goes out, perpendicular to the first patch, but not on top of it, we will have a second set of patches spawning. This is something to watch out for if you're trying to dance out of the first one. Don't dance in that direction. The biggest thing to watch out for is that second set of patches of Rolling Ice will have a third patch rolling through it. Just really beware, and I'd recommend standing out of the second set of patches. So this next part, I'm not entirely sure on, but I thought I'd show it off anyway. It seems as the boss gets close to half HP, he starts activating his mechanics more frequently. So again, it's all the mechanics we've looked over already, but just watch out. It's going to happen again and again and again. Be prepared. This is more of a notable mention, and it made me laugh, so I hope it makes someone else laugh as well. And I haven't really seen it happen to anyone else besides me, but the Ice Dragon did manage to send me to the Skybox. I really don't get why, and I mean, he's a dragon, I guess, but I didn't think he'd be this strong. I'm not sure what caused it. I couldn't tell you. I wish I could, but if it does happen, get back to the boss as soon as possible. You don't want to be too far if it goes down. That'll just mean you won't complete your quest or get any loot. As you guys can see, there's quite a few mechanics in this fight, which is perfect. I'm happy we're getting some hard fights already. I'm happy they know what we want. I'm happy we can all have a good time with it. It took our group 4 tries to clear this. The 4th try we had a couple more people, but still, it was a blast learning everything. So, big thing, this is just a mechanics video. If you guys really want to check out the fight video, I'll be posting that later today or tomorrow. On top of that, what makes this fight way easier is being high leveled and well geared. I'll be making a video about how to get a nice set of level 15 epic gear later on this week, so please look forward to it. Thank you guys for all checking out my video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys around next time. And again, you know, other cool videos. We got cool videos. Come check them out. Have a good day, everybody.